Hello YouTube, here's another random review. I'm going to be testing out this black blade on the Real Steel Luna. I just wanted to record these first cuts just in case I was seeing any major destruction on the blade there in the first few cuts. So this is, I've got my gloves on because it's a little bit more difficult reaching over the camera to cut things, and I didn't want to make a mistake, especially on camera. So here's the blade. I've carried it in my pocket for the last couple of days, but I haven't actually used it yet. Haven't had a reason to cut anything open, to be honest. So I thought I'd cut some materials which might represent typical things I would look to cut as part of an EDC carry. So as you can see, there's no damage on the blade. It's in perfect condition. So let's just see where we get to. I have opened it a few times and I haven't seen much in terms of damage on that hinge. I don't know if that's showing up with all the lighting here. But yeah, so let me start with the basics. Just bear with me 1 second. I'll just grab a sheet of paper here. Should have been prepared. There you go. So this is how sharp it is on arrival. Very, very sharp. It's snagged a bit on the base there. Can you see? No problems at all. So paper alone doesn't seem to be doing anything there. One of the main things I tend to cut is cardboard. So this is an order from My Protein. Let me just run this, see if I can separate this. I'll try and get all this on camera if I can. Where's the blade? Okay. Let me cut this down so I can have it a bit more manageable. So just cut through the cardboard nice and easily. Just keep seeing this coming out of shot. So how's that looking after just a few cuts? I can see a few minor lines on there. I don't know whether that would rub off. There might be some very slight, kind of almost like polishing lines on there. Very useful blade though, as you can see. It's a great slicer. You know, I think I'm seeing little marks on there already. Can you see? Now, when I had the titanium coated Whitby Sprint or Spirit, I can never remember which it is, I was literally just cutting cardboard and I was starting to see the coating wear completely off. And I think cardboard might be a particularly aggressive material because there's a lot of pressure that goes on there as you force it through. So yeah, I am expecting this blade is going to be, oh look, yeah, that's some significant wear already. Can you see? For me, that's slightly disappointing. Look, you saw it was a brand new blade. Let me just get my oily cloth. I tend to rub my knives with this cloth. It's impregnated with some just straight mineral oil, especially on the plain D2. Can you see? Yeah, that's coating coming off. I'll try and get this in focus for you. It's a bit more reflective now, so I'm struggling getting that in focus. That's definitely showing signs of wear. Yeah, slightly disappointing. And that's just after a few cuts. You saw how many cuts I did. This was on a brand new knife. Obviously the oil's been on there now, so it's kind of smearing the oil. But that's definitely coating wearing off. Can you see? And you've seen this live. I haven't done any additional cutting. This is the only stuff I've been cutting. I thought plastic might be a good one to test. This is just off a strawberry punnet, but it represents typical materials, packets you might be cutting. Let's just slice through some of this. Let me give that a wipe. I think it's the cardboard that's done the most damage there. Can you see that? I just think unless you're going high-end DLC materials, I just don't think these cheaper coatings work on knife blades, because it's a very difficult environment for the coating, because it's a lot of force, a lot of pressure sliding against rough materials. But this isn't from like digging in the garden. It's literally just been digging, slicing through a few bits of cardboard. Let's just do a couple more tests. Got the old shreddies box. Might represent the kind of slices you'd do to open packets and things. Yeah, that's coming off quick sharp. So it's looking like this coating isn't going to be particularly hard wearing. And that's just after a few cuts, remember. This isn't like after years of abuse. Just a few cuts and I'm already seeing that wearing off. And I do remember asking a question of a different YouTuber some time ago, saying, you know, how robust is the coating? And they said they hadn't used theirs very much. But I think we're seeing now just how easily that does come off with some basic slicing. Look at that. I'm going to continue to use this knife and just see how it tends to develop over time. But I think that's going to look fairly stripped off within a few weeks of proper use. So has anyone else got one of these black bladed Real Steel Lunas? And how is your coating holding up? I'd be very interested to find out. Okay, I'll do some more testing and I'll report back in a few weeks. Thanks, YouTube.